moving on. That was layer 5. So now we're getting to the middle layers. Layer 4. Flexor hallucis brevis, flexor digiti minimi, adductor hallucis, and adductor digiti minimi. Very exciting, kids. Back to the digiti minimis. So, flexor hallucis brevis. Remember, flexor is to flex, hallucis is big toe, brevis means it's short, and that also generally will mean there's a long version of it. We're not going to be doing any of the ankle muscles. We're just doing the intrinsic feet muscles. So the flexor, I believe this crosses the ankle. So the flexor hallucis longus, we won't be doing that. So the brevis attaches from the 3 cuneiform bones and the navicular bone. Occasionally it'll be on the cuboid bone, depending on the person, to the proximal phalanx of the big toe, and it splits to the sides and connects on through the sesamoid bones, and it crosses the first MP joint and attaches to the sides of the phalanx. So, what does that mean in English? So here's, I don't know if you guys want to come close and see. This is the navicular. It means like nautical or like a ship. And then this is the cuboid bone, and these are the 3 cuneiform bones. Okay? So it's saying that it's connecting from the, make sure I'm doing this right, the 3 cuneiform bones and the navicular. So here's the navicular and the cuneiform bone, but it'd be underneath. Can you guys see that? Yes. So those connect, and then what it's going to do is go around the side, this big toe area, and then it splits and goes on to the sesamoid bones. Like, where are my sesamoid bones? My big toes flipped around. I'm like, the sesamoid bones are on the wrong side. They sure were. Okay, Herman, we got your toes all straight now. All right, so it goes from here around and the sesamoid bones. And the sesamoid bones are these little free, oops, there they are. These little free bumps that are just kind of a little padding for push-off. Sometimes they get aggravated. People get sesamoiditis and things like that. But it goes around through there. Okay? So new color. I'll trade orange. Did I do? No, gray. There we go. And I'll tape it. Where does it? To the side of the phalanx. Okay. The phalanx is your toe. So here we go. Down and through here, goes across the big toe, and then it splits. How far should I go? We'll go here. So you can, when you do it on yourself, you can cut a little piece like this in half, and then wrap it over the sesamoid bones, and then around to the outside of the big toe. You see that? But I will give you the picture to have a look at first so that you can color yours. So it's this one. It goes around through here and then connects around through the sides. Okay, so go ahead and tape it, kind of the center of your foot, split it, and it goes around to the outside of your big toe. And then it flexes the first MP joint, your metatarsal phalangeal joint. Okay, so all you do, you try not to curl your toe, and then you're going to put your finger and press the toe forward without curling your big toe. All right, and that's the one I was doing before. I was looking at the wrong page. Like I said, I've given this lecture 8 million times, and I screw it up every time at some point. Which part? Oh, so you're trying not to curl your big toe. You want to keep your big toe straight, and you push your big toe into your finger without curling your toe, so the base of the big toe. So it's the, so you can see, Eileen, so here we have, it's this MP joint that it flexes. Here's the metatarsal, there's the phalange, and you're trying to go like that. So you press into it to get it to curl. Yeah, this one can be exciting. You gotta cross the MP joint, so you gotta go on the big toe. There you go, yes. And don't forget to do the other foot, like I keep doing. My poor right foot's gonna be, but I did specifically choose to tape my left foot because it's the weaker foot, so I'd be paying attention to it. And do about 5. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns about your flexor hallucis brevis? Are we ready to move along? All right. So now we're going to go into the flexor digiti minimi. All right, flexor bend, digiti toes, minimi small, little. All right. This one attaches from the proximal end of the 5th metatarsal, that's your pinky toe, to the base of the proximal phalanx of the little toe, or the 5th metatarsal. Okay. Let me grab this, make sure I am doing it properly. And I am. New color. I'll do red. I don't think I've done red. So, here we have Herman. We're gonna take and go, it's on the 5th metatarsal. Okay, so on the base of the pinky toe, and then it crosses the MP joint. So the metatarsal phalangeal joint, there, okay? Can you see? Yeah, can we see? All right. And I'm gonna take some of this off. And here is your picture. It is this one, yeah, this little tiny one there. Okay, so now this is the same as what we just did, only on your pinky toe. So you press, oh, I forgot to tape mine. You press on the base of your pinky toe and draw it down towards your heel. And it's a straight line. So just do, you're just gonna take the pinky toe, ooh, and mine doesn't like to go. 1, do 5 times. No, it does not like to go on me. I have bunionetts, so the muscles around my pinky toe are not beautiful. They're not plump, let's just put it that way. Oh, and they're that way on both toes. But we all have our issues, right? Mine happens to be my flexor digiti minimi. So you're actually, Eileen, you want to push on your toe. No, yeah, you got to go across. So this one on yours is going to be really...
It's really hard.
So you want to push here. Yep. So you want to try and push there. Yep. And you just keep, yeah, see it starting to go. You just kind of push on it a little bit until it'll go. And as it gets stronger, then the other side is going to stretch out. This is your new favorite exercise. All right. Any questions on our flexor digiti minimi? Are we falling asleep yet? Okay. Okay, our next bit is going to be our abductor hallucis. So abduction means to come to your midline, and then hallucis is your big toe. See? You guys are going to be able to pass an anatomy test by the time you're done with this. All right. So it connects from our deep medial heel to the medial base of the proximal phalanx of the big toe. So our heel is our calcaneus bone. So, oops, I'll trade colors again. Oh, you're gonna have to get colorful. I'm going back to blue here. So it's gonna come from our heel. What number am I? 147. So here's our calcaneus bone, our heel. It's going to go from there, and it's going to connect over to our proximal phalanx of the big toe. So to here. All right, so it's going from our heel to the big toe, just past the MP joint. All right. I will pass the picture. So it's this one. It connects from here over into there, the side of your big toe. I'm sticking to the floor as I walk. It makes a funny noise. So you can see as we're going along, the muscles are getting longer, okay? So they're not quite as small now, and they're making bigger movements from a longer lever. So that is the difference between the smaller, shorter, tiny muscles on the inside are more deep stabilizing muscles, and as we go out through the layers, they get longer and become more gross movement patterns, although these are still the intrinsic muscles of the feet. But so once you get it taped and colored, then we're going to resist doing the abduction of the toe. So you're going to press to the side of your big toe with your finger and try and push the toe out. All right? Which I'm having a hard time doing. Now I'm doing it and it's starting to cramp. This is another one where you can brush along the side of your foot, and that will help to get it to fire, or tapping it will help to get it to fire. So these are techniques you can use in teaching to help the muscles go. Yeah? Woo! Cramping. I will go to the other side. Okay, so this is one where if it's weak, you have poor pronation control in your foot, okay? So pronation is when you flatten out this way. So when you fall in, it might make you fall in and pronate a little bit more if they're weak, because that's the muscle that helps to keep control in pronation or in supination. It'll start to allow you to pronate more if it's weak. So then you can strengthen this muscle and it'll help assist you that way. And the next questions on the abductor hallucis. We're good? Okay, now we're going to do the abductor digiti minimi. So I'm going to explain something about the way the kinesiologists and biomechanists labeled our feet, which is slightly annoying. So when you're talking about abduction and adduction in the foot, you're going from the second toe, okay? So this is just so that you understand what we're talking about here. So the second toe is the midline of the foot. Abduction of the big toe is away, and then abduction of the pinky toe is away. So it's not referred to from the midline of the body, it's the midline of the foot, which is the second toe. Does that make sense? So we got that? Now, the second toe then is you abduct to either side. So you would abduct to the big toe, or you would abduct to the third toe. It doesn't adduct, it only abducts. Adduction would be back to the center. This is where I start to roll my eyes at. But you have to if you're trying to explain things, right? So that's how it goes. So that's why we're now abducting the pinky toe. It's going out, but it's going away from the center line, and this is also going away from the center line rather than the center line of your body. It's the center line of your foot, okay? So the abductor digiti minimi attaches from the deep lateral border of the calcaneus, so the other side of your heel, to the lateral border of the proximal phalanx of the little toe. So same thing, just on the other side. We'll use still blue. So we go over here from the side of your calcaneus or your heel, and we're going to bring it across and connect it over onto your pinky toe. And this one is also a problem for me since I have the bunionetts from my many moons of dancing. Do we need to see it on the picture here? You guys got it? Got it, got it, got it? Okay, so then this one is the same activation. You're trying to get your pinky toe to press out. And mine really doesn't do it, but maybe yours will. And again, remember, you can brush the outside of your foot to get it to activate, or tap the outside of your foot. Ooh, Nicole's does it so well. Well, it likes to go this way, and that's the one we're doing now, so be excited about your accomplishments when you have them. You have a fabulous abductor digiti minimi. Mine are hideous. So when you have bunions and bunionetts, okay, so a bunion is when you have that big ball on the big toe, and a bunionette is when you have that big ball on the little toe. What happens is, well, they happen most of the time because the lumbricals and the quadratus plantae, which we haven't gotten to yet, are weak, and then things start to flatten out. But these start to weaken because the line of action of these muscles have to go around the bunion and the bunionette, and so it gets pulled so far that they can no longer get the leverage to fire and pull it out. So that's one of the things that I do, is try and get my pinky toe to go out, because that's going to help repair and bring the toe back into alignment. But if you can see on Herman, the metatarsal goes this way and the other thing goes this way, right? Your toe goes this way. So then when you have a bunionette, that's the part that's sticking out. And then it starts to grow extra bone because the muscle starts to pull funny on it. So same thing with the big toe. It goes across and then you have a bunion. So The best way to resolve bunions and bunionetts are to do the intrinsic muscles of the feet exercises, specifically starting with the lumbrical exercises and the quadratus plantae exercise, and then moving in to the abductor exercises after that to see if you can start to get the pinky toe or the big toe to start pulling back out in the direction that it's supposed to go. That's something you can do. That is an exercise that we do for another set of muscles. But one of the things when you're training muscles that you have to remember, when you start touching other parts that you're not trying to focus on, it starts to bring awareness and sensation to there, and then you actually start confusing the situation. So the more you put the awareness and target on the goal, the greater chance you have of getting that to go. So if you're doing all sorts of stuff over here and you're trying to get the toe to go out, it kind of over-circuits your brain. So in some cases that's going to be okay, but in other cases it's better just to put the emphasis on what you are trying to accomplish. Does that help? Yeah. But you can try both and see what happens. That's just something that I have found helpful to remember while teaching, to not confuse the people. All right. Questions on anything in our fourth layer? All right. So now we've done our sixth layer, our fifth layer, and our fourth layer. Why don't you put your papers down and just walk around the room a little bit and see how your feet feel, even though you have tape on them. See if they're a little more awake or just how they might be hitting differently. And shake it out because you've been sitting for an hour. Yeah? Do they feel awake? More mobile at all? Try go up onto releve for those of you that know what that is. Yeah? I should say try go up onto the balls of your toes. Try walk on the balls of your toes a little bit. Good. All right. Trot yourself on back to your mat. Did you guys feel any difference? No? Awakeness? And what?
In the little toes.
In your little toes, a difference in your little toes? Okay.